Welcome to the Galactic Line. Come, eat my coconut.
For more of this kind of content, you can subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment. The morning mist clung to the Costa Rican rainforest as Dr. Elena Rodriguez checked her coconut cultivation experiments. The research facility buzzed with its usual activity when an unusual shimmer appeared in the sky. What descended wasn't a helicopter or plane, but something that defied explanation. Princess Zara stepped from her craft with graceful movements, her blue-tinted skin reflecting the tropical sunlight. Her people, the Kayathi, had been observing Earth for months, studying human agricultural practices. Unlike the dramatic first contacts of science fiction, this meeting was surprisingly calm. Security Chief Marcus Thompson raised his weapon instinctively, but Dr. Elena stepped forward with scientific curiosity, overriding fear. The alien princess spoke in perfect English, her voice carrying musical undertones. "I come seeking knowledge," Zara announced, her large violet eyes scanning the coconut groves. "Your species cultivates food in ways my people find fascinating." Elena lowered Marcus's weapon gently. "What kind of knowledge?" Zara smiled, revealing teeth like polished pearls. "We have mastered synthetic nutrition, but we've lost something your people still possess. The connection between cultivator and crop, the patience required for natural growth." Dr. James Chen arrived breathlessly, having been alerted by security. His scientific mind raced with possibilities. "You're saying your advanced civilization wants to learn from our primitive farming?" "Primitive?" Zara laughed, a sound like wind chimes. "You call this primitive?" She gestured toward Elena's coconut trees, heavy with fruit. "These trees provide food, water, shelter materials, and oil. One plant, countless uses. Our food synthesizers require rare minerals from 3 different star systems." Elena found herself warming to this unusual visitor. "Would you like to see how we harvest them?" Zara nodded eagerly. As they walked through the grove, the alien princess asked countless questions about soil composition, growth cycles, and traditional farming methods. Her enthusiasm was infectious. Marcus remained suspicious, but even he began to relax as Zara showed genuine interest in learning rather than conquering. She examined coconut palms with the wonder of a child seeing snow for the first time. "On my world, we've forgotten the patience required for cultivation," Zara admitted. "Everything is instant, efficient, sterile. But this..." She touched a coconut shell reverently. "This requires hope. You plant a seed, not knowing if it will survive, trusting in a future you might not live to see." Elena smiled. "That's what makes us human, I suppose. Hope and stubbornness in equal measure." The day ended with an unprecedented decision. Dr. Chen, after consulting with government officials, agreed to let Zara stay and learn. The alien princess would study Earth's agricultural methods while sharing her people's advanced knowledge. As the sun set over the Pacific, casting golden light through the coconut palms, both species realized they had found something valuable in each other. 3 weeks had passed since Princess Zara's arrival, and the research facility had transformed into an unexpected cultural exchange center. The alien princess proved to be an eager student, though her advanced technology sometimes clashed with Earth's simpler methods. "This is inefficient," Zara muttered, watching Elena carefully plant coconut seedlings. The princess held a device that could theoretically accelerate plant growth by months in mere hours. "I could have these mature in days." Elena wiped sweat from her brow, smiling patiently. Speed isn't always the goal, Your Highness. Watch. She pointed to a grove of coconuts she'd planted 5 years earlier. Those trees have deep roots because they grew slowly. They've weathered 3 hurricanes, 2 droughts, and countless storms. Your accelerated plants might be tall, but would they be strong? Marcus observed from nearby, his initial hostility having evolved into grudging respect. He'd watched Zara work tirelessly, her royal status meaning nothing when faced with actual labor. Her hands, once pristine, now bore the honest dirt of farming. Zara knelt beside Elena, abandoning her technological shortcuts. Show me the slow way. Dr. Chen documented everything, amazed by the exchange. The alien princess possessed knowledge that could revolutionize agriculture. Yet she chose to learn humanity's patient methods. Meanwhile, her presence had energized the entire research team. Your coconuts, Zara said during lunch, cracking one open with practice skill she developed over weeks. They're not just food, they're lessons in delayed gratification. She sipped the fresh water inside. Sweet, pure, perfect, but only after months of careful tending. Elena nodded. My grandmother used to say that the best things in life can't be rushed. Love, trust, good food, they all need time to develop properly. On Kayeth, we've optimized everything, Zara continued. Our food is nutritionally perfect, but tasteless. Our relationships are arranged for maximum compatibility, but lack passion. Our lives are efficient, but empty. Marcus spoke up, surprising everyone. Sounds lonely. Zara's violet eyes widened. The tough security chief had rarely spoken to her directly. Yes, she whispered, very lonely. That afternoon, Zara made an announcement that stunned everyone. She wanted to plant a coconut grove using only traditional Earth methods, no alien technology. The project would take years to mature, long after her planned return to Kayeth. But you won't be here to see it fully grown, Elena pointed out. Zara smiled, her alien features radiating very human hope. Then it will be my gift to your world, a symbol of patience, of trust in the future. As days turned to weeks, the unlikely friendship between the alien princess and the human botanist deepened. They worked side by side, sharing stories of their worlds, while their hands shaped the earth. One evening, as they watched the sunset paint the sky in brilliant oranges and purples, Zara made a confession. I was sent here to evaluate Earth for colonization. My people believe human agriculture is wastefully slow. Elena felt a chill, despite the tropical warmth. And now? Now I understand that what we saw as weakness is actually your greatest strength. You build for generations you'll never meet. That's not wasteful, that's magnificent. The research facility had become more than a place of scientific study. It had become a bridge between worlds, built on the simple foundation of shared labor and mutual respect. A month into her stay, Princess Zara faced her first real test of human endurance. Dr. Chen had organized a cultural exchange dinner, complete with Earth delicacies from around the world. Tables groaned under the weight of chocolates, pastries, candies, and exotic desserts from every continent. Zara's people possessed advanced metabolisms that process nutrients with perfect efficiency, but Earth's sugary treats presented a unique challenge. Her first taste of chocolate cake had been a revelation, not for its nutritional value, but for the pure pleasure it provided. These confections serve no biological purpose, Zara observed. Yet she found herself reaching for another piece of Swiss chocolate. They exist solely for enjoyment, Elena laughed, watching the alien princess discover the concept of indulgence. Sometimes, the best things in life have no purpose except making us happy. Marcus, who had been quietly observing the cultural exchange, noticed something interesting. Despite her fascination with Earth sweets, Zara consistently returned to the simple coconut she'd cracked open herself. She would taste the elaborate desserts, appreciate their complexity, then return to her coconut water and fresh fruit. You keep choosing the coconut over chocolate cake, Marcus noted. Most humans would make the opposite choice. Zara paused, a spoonful of tiramisu halfway to her lips. Your sweets are wonderful, but they're overwhelming. The coconut is pure, honest, it doesn't pretend to be more than it is. Dr. Chen leaned forward, intrigued by the philosophical implications. You're saying simplicity has value over complexity? Not always, Zara replied carefully. But in a galaxy of artificial flavors and synthetic experiences, something real becomes precious. She held up her coconut. This grew naturally, slowly, with no agenda except to exist. Your desserts are engineering marvels, but they're designed to manipulate pleasure centers in your brain. Elena felt a surge of pride in her simple crops. My grandmother used to say that the best flavors don't need to shout to be heard. The conversation took an unexpected turn when Zara revealed more about Kyathi society. Her people had perfected nutrition centuries ago, eliminating hunger, but they'd also eliminated the simple pleasure of a perfectly ripe fruit or the satisfaction of a meal shared with friends. We achieved efficiency, Zara explained, but we lost something essential. The anticipation of harvest, the disappointment of crop failure, the celebration of abundance. These experiences shape character. Marcus surprised everyone by sharing a personal story. My father taught me to fish when I was young. We'd sit for hours without catching anything, and I thought it was pointless. Years later, I realized the fishing wasn't the point. It was the patience, the quiet time together, the appreciation when we finally caught something. As the evening progressed, other researchers began sharing their own stories of simple pleasures and patient cultivation. The alien princess listened with growing understanding of what made humanity unique. No more sweets for you, Elena teased as Zara pushed away a plate of elaborate French pastries. My coconuts are better. Zara's laughter filled the room. Yes, she agreed. They truly are. Not because they're more complex or technologically advanced, but because they're real. They connect me to the earth, to the time and care that created them, to the hope that planted them. The dinner became more than cultural exchange. It became a revelation about the value of authenticity over artificial enhancement. The alien princess, who could have had anything, chose the simple coconut, recognizing in its unpretentious perfection something her advanced civilization had lost. As the night ended, Zara made another surprising announcement. She requested permission to extend her stay indefinitely, wanting to learn not just farming techniques, but the human philosophy behind them. Dr. Chen readily agreed, recognizing the unprecedented opportunity for both species to learn from each other. Boom. 2 months after Princess Zara's arrival, the research facility faced its greatest challenge. A massive hurricane, Category 5 and unprecedented in its fury, bore down on the Costa Rican coast. Meteorologists predicted complete devastation of the agricultural research station. Evacuation protocols demanded everyone leave immediately. But Zara refused to abandon the coconut grove she'd been cultivating. These trees represent months of work, of hope, she insisted. In my culture, we don't abandon what we've nurtured. Dr. Chen faced an impossible decision. The government demanded the alien princess's safety above all else. But Zara's stubborn determination reminded him why he'd become a scientist in the first place. The refusal to accept defeat. Elena stood with Zara, her weathered hands touching the young coconut palms they'd planted together. There might be a way to protect some of them, she said quietly. My grandfather survived hurricanes here for 60 years. He had techniques the textbooks don't mention. Marcus coordinated the evacuation while Elena and Zara worked frantically to implement traditional storm protection methods. They wrapped the younger trees in protective barriers, created windbreaks using natural materials, and moved seedlings to reinforced shelters. Zara's technology could have solved the problem easily, but she chose to work with human methods, understanding that the challenge itself was part of the lesson. Her hands bled from working with rough materials, but she never complained. Why not use your advanced tools? Dr. Chen asked as he delayed his own departure to help. Because surviving through technology isn't the same as earning survival through effort, Zara replied, securing another protective barrier. My people have forgotten the satisfaction of overcoming obstacles through determination and ingenuity. The storm hit with biblical fury. Winds exceeding 200 miles per hour tore across the landscape, destroying buildings and uprooting century-old trees. The research facility's main structures, despite modern engineering, crumbled under nature's assault. But in the grove where Elena's traditional methods and Zara's tireless effort had prepared the coconut palms, something remarkable happened. The young trees, properly protected and deeply rooted through months of careful cultivation, bent but didn't break. When the hurricane passed, the devastation was nearly complete. Government officials arrived, expecting to find nothing but ruins, and were amazed to discover that a significant portion of the coconut grove had survived. Princess Zara stood among her saved trees, tears streaming down her blue-tinted face. Not tears of sadness, but of overwhelming pride. She had fought nature using human methods and won. Not through superior technology, but through patience, preparation, and stubborn refusal to surrender. How? Asked the government inspector, surveying the miracle. Elena smiled, her arm around her alien friend's shoulders. Old knowledge, new determination, and the kind of hope that doesn't calculate odds. Marcus, who had coordinated rescue efforts, found himself moved by what he witnessed. The alien princess, who could have called down orbital assistance, had chosen instead to dirty her hands and risk everything for plants she'd helped nurture. Dr. Chen realized he was witnessing something unprecedented in human-alien relations. Not conquest or submission, but true collaboration. Two species learning from each other's strengths. As they stood among the surviving coconut palms, Zara made a declaration that would change both their worlds. I'm requesting permanent residency on Earth. My people need to learn what I've learned here. The response from her homeworld was swift and surprising. The Kyathi Council, intrigued by their princess's reports, approved not just her extended stay, but announced plans for a formal agricultural exchange program. What had begun as a simple first contact had evolved into something far more valuable. A friendship that would reshape how both species understood strength, patience, and the true meaning of cultivation. 6 months after the hurricane, the Costa Rican research facility had been rebuilt better than before, incorporating both human resilience and Kyathi innovation. Princess Zara stood before the thriving coconut grove, no longer the curious alien visitor, but a true cultivator who understood the deeper meaning of patience and growth. The first Kyathi cultural exchange students had arrived, eager to learn what their princess had discovered about human agriculture. They came expecting primitive techniques and found instead a sophisticated understanding of natural systems that their advanced technology had overlooked. Elena watched Zara teaching the new arrivals, explaining how to read soil conditions without instruments and feel a plant's health through touch. The alien princess had become more human in her approach while never losing her unique perspective. "She's become one of us," Marcus observed. No longer the suspicious security chief, but a friend who'd learned his own lessons about prejudice and understanding. Dr. Chen nodded, recording everything for posterity. "She's become something better. A bridge between worlds who understands both." As the day progressed, Zara gathered everyone for a ceremony she'd planned. In the center of the grove stood the coconut tree she'd planted on her first day, now strong enough to weather storms and provide fruit for generations. "This tree taught me something my advanced civilization had forgotten," Zara began, her voice carrying the authority of hard-earned wisdom. "The greatest achievements aren't measured in efficiency or speed, but in sustainability and meaning." She looked at each person who had shaped her transformation. "Elena taught me that patience isn't weakness, it's strength, investing in the future. Marcus showed me that trust must be earned through consistent actions. Dr. Chen demonstrated that true knowledge comes from combining different perspectives." The alien princess paused, touching the bark of her coconut tree. But the greatest lesson came from the plants themselves. They don't grow to impress anyone or achieve fame. They grow because growth is their nature, their purpose, their gift to the world. Elena stepped forward, her weathered hands gentle as she embraced her alien friend. "What will you tell your people when you return?" Zara smiled, but her expression held a secret. "I'm not returning, not permanently. I've requested to establish the first permanent Kyathi settlement on Earth, dedicated to learning and teaching sustainable cultivation." The announcement stunned everyone. A spacefaring civilization choosing to stay on Earth, not for conquest, but for knowledge, represented a fundamental shift in how both species would interact. Dr. Chen was the first to understand the implications. "You're choosing simplicity over advancement? I'm choosing wisdom over mere intelligence," Zara corrected. "My people are brilliant, but we've forgotten how to be wise. Wisdom grows slowly, like these coconuts, and can't be synthesized or accelerated." Marcus asked the question everyone was thinking. "What about your royal duties?" Zara laughed, the sound now familiar and warm. "True leadership means serving your people's real needs, not their perceived wants. My people need to rediscover patience, hope, and the satisfaction of nurturing something greater than themselves." As sunset painted the sky in brilliant colors, the group shared coconut water from the trees they'd saved during the hurricane. The simple act had become their ritual, a reminder of what really mattered. Elena raised her coconut shell in a toast. To slow growth, deep roots, and the courage to choose difficulty over ease. To friendship that transcends species, added Marcus. To knowledge shared and wisdom earned, contributed Dr. Chen. Zara smiled, her violet eyes reflecting the dying light. To remembering that the best things in life, love, friendship, trust, and hope, can't be engineered or optimized. They can only be cultivated with patience and tended with care. The alien princess, who came seeking agricultural knowledge, had found something far more valuable. The understanding that civilization's greatest achievements aren't technological, but moral, measured not in efficiency, but in the legacy we leave for those who come after us.